any hitch that needs sorting out before you sign something. You just don't sign something immediately and meeting them, because then you find that there's some little thing there, they can own it. And that's the problem you have to watch. And so far, all the people of late have not been prepared to sign any contract which I can hand to a solicitor and get the okay to go ahead.
I really think that the people that finance this or fund it need to be hands off. Literally, they put up the money and they walk away. Literally, they have to be willing to part with the money, and there's plenty of people who will. The other thing is that hundreds and thousands of people can get involved in this, but it has to be structured properly so that you are left to do what you need to do and what you're called to do once again. I know you've met, as you said in the film, with princesses and people of high stature about this. Do you ever wonder why they don't come forward and fund it?
Well, of course, they all got strings attached to them by somebody higher than them, somebody who controls them. Let's face it, in Britain, the government controls them, tells them what they can say and can't say. And if anyone speaks out of line, they chew him off about it. And that's the problem. The problem here, I think, is twofold, really. A lot of people give money to see it happen. These are really true human beings who realize that if somebody don't do something, we're all in trouble. And every day that passes, that trouble grows more risky. And therefore, they give from their heart. They're the real people, the people you can trust, the people you can form a company with when you're ready to go to the marketplace. But those who want to see it and want to have it in their home for a month to see it does work, they cannot be trusted because they only want to try to find out how it works so they can get it copied and they don't need you.
Well, that's why I think there's a difference between a traditional investor and a true angel or someone who is putting up the money, who has plenty of money. It's a non-issue, and it's a benevolent commitment.
Yet all you need is a center where people could donate $1 a month. And this way you get 1 million people doing that. You at least can get started with the work. And as the money grows, so the SEG is speeding up to the marketplace. These are the people that make it happen.
Absolutely.
The project for the people, by the people, and not big boys interfering. But they don't appear to want to do this. Where are the people? I can't see them. We'll have the aliens take them to the moon to work on secret alien stuff which people bragging about on the internet.
What if 100,000 people invested in this technology and you were able to create, again, the generator to work for our homes and apartments so we could use the energy that's naturally available? What if that's the easiest thing to start with rather than the cars?
This is what we're working on, is the 15 kilowatt home generator. And the thing is, what we've got to bear in mind, the old generators took 3 months to make one. For production, that is useless. So I had to think out a different way to go ahead. And this has been under test in America, partly developed in Thailand. And so we have now demonstrations to show what the materials do. And of course, by testing individual materials in this required field, what they would do, what it does, we've learned that more happens than we ever knew happened. So we have learned from our American research work we're doing that the materials of the SEG do far more than we ever anticipated they did. And that's a great achievement as we try to find out the best solution for a mass production unit. And all tests are set at go. And that's great. That's great news. I'm quite content. It's just taken a bit of cost to get the heavy engineering projects here in the States, and also the delay factor. Two last major bits are going to take 2 months to wait for them to arrive from China. But they have been paid for thanks to the good people that made it possible, and they have been committed to arrive from China in 2 months' time. But that means a slight delay on being able to speed things up. But we're still moving forward. Morris has put all his effort behind to get the new place converted to a lab and not a factory as it originally was, which means they had to clean the walls and paint them, clean the floor and relay it with a decent floor. The office had to have the matting changed to make it look really as it is, a lab and headquarters effort. And he's doing a very good job. And we can't afford to pay for the labor we needed, so he's struggling along with whoever wants to give a helping hand.
Someone told me some years ago that if you really want to bring something to the world, do not patent it. Go ahead and make it open source, make it an open system, and get it out there. Once it's in the public domain, it starts to move quickly. And that the patent office often stifles and holds up a lot of projects and also gives advance notice to the people that want to get in on your deal. So I think it's great you didn't patent this.
Yes, I think it was the safest move. And after all, the patent office is there to protect your interests. And if they said they cannot promise you that they can find the people producing the SEGs because you made every detail public, then that's a big worrying question. People, when I was in Canada in 1971, I did some programs. I met the Prime Minister, the full cabinet for dinner, long talk. The problem there is that a man went and paid for the patent and for a shilling. And that cost me pounds to file. And I just thought, that's stupid. You pay all this money out for protection. A man can just pay a shilling and he gets it. I say it's just ridiculous. And certainly is, I think that the way for this to move forward correctly for the world is in an honest group of people's hands, where the world is represented as a whole, not as a select party of a few people who want to make millions in a year, 10 million the following year, 20 the following year, that, and they got to make more and more profit each year. That is not the way forward. That's the wrong way forward. But what I'd like to see is, first of all, bear in mind, the SUG is a golden egg, only if everyone else play their part. A, they don't destroy or damage the properties. That helps the SUG to get nature to recover itself. Then we all benefit. I like to see deserts brought to a halt and converted to an evergreen state where things can live and thrive in a happy condition. It is all possible, but it's going to take the effort of a lot of people to achieve it. The pyramids of ancient time were not built by one man. It took the whole country to stand behind their leader to make it happen. We in America should stand behind our leader and say, we want a better lease of life. We need this pollution cleaned up. We need to drop out as quick as possible all the old technology that's making it and convert it to technology which is 100% clean. Get those ditches and rivers dug out deeper and wider where possible to take flood water. Get houses and buildings which often are known to be hit by severe flooding up on stilts so that the building don't get damaged in the process of a heavy flood. lot of things we can do. There's no excuse today to say there's nothing we can do. That is saying that